walking and since I'm completely unfit.
Yeah, this would be a perfect place to practice.
So we're out here at Fox Creek for the 2018 Downhill State Champs. This track's Lone Gum. It's fairly new to Fox Creek and it doesn't seem to be getting ridden too much during the year outside of racing. It's quite a good track, it's rough, it's fast. Bottom section's quite motorway. Definitely a lot of room to take risks and make time up. Up the top here, it's all more or less natural, rooty top section of woods. You come out of the woods, you've got a nice fast jump section which is still doable chainless, so the chainless guys are all good as well. That'll be a fun category at this race. Out of that you go back into the trees, more natural stuff, and it's all natural all through the trees again. Then you cross the road and you got a long sweeping bends, big gaps, gaps where if you don't go big you have to brake and kind of drop off the short stuff. So there's a lot of time to be made up down the bottom for sending it and taking those risks, as I said. So let's go and have a look. So this top section through here, it's all natural, kind of splattered with bits and pieces of off camber, some roots, some rocks. So for me the goal is to keep the line as straight and as short as possible, but try not to get hooked up or taken out by any of these obstacles. The rocks, you know, for instance this stuff here, that'll be gone by race day, but there's a few rocks, and if it gets wet there's a lot of roots kind of slipping out on that camber that can catch you out. So if you're not too sure, start with the flowy runs around the outside of everything, of all the main lines. They're pretty safe usually. Otherwise, straight down the middle is your fast line.
We're walking and since I'm completely unfit.
Yeah, this would be a perfect place to practice.
So you come off those jumps and come through this section, you got this little rock garden or little rocky pass onto this off camber right-hander and straight into the woods. So you want to try and stay high on this camber here. Shoot between these trees. I've seen a lot of guys are coming outside now, getting up here. Nice little alternate line. Sets you up better for the rocks. So we walk down here and you got this rock garden, and it's a reasonably tight left-hander. So reasonably steep too. Main line is straight down here on the outside, round the bend, and up there to the left. My line last year at the state champs was through the main line up the top here, left-hander, tight on this left, and then hug the trees on the left-hand side and stay high all the way around up into that next corner. Seemed to have worked well, but at the moment, the way this lower section's running, I think I might end up with the lower section. I just come out with a little more speed, and I don't check up as much speed on the way in. So from here on down, and pretty much with this entire track, so you've got the exit of the rock garden here, it's all about picking the lines that yield the most exit speed. So if you've got a line where you're coming in a little bit slower, but there's a better exit speed, you should practice that line. Practice them both, so you have a line where you can come in a lot hotter, but you're braking at the end of the corner, or it's more technical to get out of, and you're suffering on the way out, so you're having to get back up to speed. Your exit speed's everything. You can kind of brake really, really fast. You can go from going real quick to real slow relatively quickly, but you can't go from real slow back to real quick relatively quickly. So the exit speed's what you want. So have a think about that while you're going through here looking for lines. This is probably one of the roughest bits of the track. Come down here through the windies, you got a couple of left rights, and then it's a high speed, chattery, it's just bomb holes through here. They're only ever so slight, but they really beat your bike up. So you've got to stay off the back, and from the very top, you've got to have your line right, because if you come in too far to the left, you're going to be trying to turn through these bomb holes at the bottom, and you'll be aimed right for this tree. So you got to start out of that little right-hander. You got to get right and then aim for the left, so you're crossing gradually down here instead of trying to turn at the last minute. So see how it looks. So come out of the wooded section there, across this fire road, so you got this chute onto the fire road, a couple of different lines there. Just stay left is your best bet, and then back off the fire road into this mogul section. So middle line is kind of the most used line, so middle and then straight through there, and then left-hander, and stay on top of the moguls over there on the left. So this is a chute off the fire road. As you're coming onto it, I aim for the centre rock and try and kind of veer a little left off that centre rock. It gives me a good line up through here. I stay off of that first mogul, stay away from this one, and then I turn in this lower portion and try and get straight over the last mogul. And it opens up that next right-hander well. So we got this first sender after the road crossing here. So you come in past the moguls, right-hander, and you got this left line that cuts the corner and you gap straight into the next turn, or you can go around the B line to the right. If you send this a little far to the right, you're going to end up in that wall, and it's not going to be good news. So if you're going to go for it, you have to go to the left a little bit. There's plenty of space to land down there, so you're all good, but you got to make sure you carry a bit of speed and stay left off that takeoff. Right-hander, if you're going to do the B line, just come up nice and high, pump and pump, so you've got that speed, you're carrying speed through that you would be saving. You know, if you do the straight line, you're saving a little bit of time, but if you go around, you can still carry some speed, so don't be afraid to stick to those B lines. So we come out of that little section there, you got another double just in front of us here. And that sets you up for this big sender. So you've got to get to there, which is the start of the down ramp. If you land anywhere short of that, it's a little bit rough. So you hit that or squash it, whatever you want to do. You got to slow down if you're going to squash it, or else you'll get a little bit wild. And then just in the distance there's a left-hander into the rocks, and then you're into the jumps. So we come down this gnarly staircase. I start, if you're looking down from the top, I start on the left and cross over the middle and finish at the right. So I finish right there above that rock. And then you're out of there. There's a nice berm. And then the jumps. So the reward for all your efforts.